Welcome, everybody. I'm Tara Bitson, Director of the Alexandria Lakes Area Chamber of Commerce. It's great to have you all with us today for our Listen and Learn. If you live and or work in the Alexandria Lakes area, enrollment at Alexandria's Technical and Community College impacts you through revenue brought into our community and potentially through future workforce for your businesses, and hopefully future long-term residents for our community. With us today is Jeff Wild, Vice President of Advancement and Outreach at Alexandria Technical and Community College. He's going to share information on ATCC's strategic enrollment management and how ATCC is striving to support their students as well as our community. So Jeff, it's all yours. I am going to be monitoring the chat, so while Jeff's talking, if you have things that you want to talk about later or questions, feel free to use the chat option. And also, we are recording this session today, and that will be available on the Technical College's website afterwards, as well as the Chambers. So feel free to use the chat option, and we will have time for question and answers at the end. Go ahead, Jeff.
Perfect. Thank you, Tara. Great introduction. As Tara said, my name is Jeff Wild. I'm new to Alec Tech. I've only been here since the end of January. So this has been a tremendous learning curve for me. My background is in hospitality. And for over 20 years, I was the general manager of Arrowwood Resort here in Alexandria. And a wonderful opportunity for me to raise my family and live and work and play in Alexandria. When this opportunity presented itself, I was very, very excited to, it was probably the first opportunity that I really felt would be great chance for me to roll my skill set and all the marketing and advertising we've done for Alexandria and promoting this as a destination to come to Alec Tech and do the same thing. So it's been a tremendous opportunity for me. So I want to get into my presentation. I'm going to share my screen here. I think that worked, right? So we're going to talk today about strategic enrollment management, and that is supporting our students, college, and community. So like I said earlier, this has been a really enlightening process for me. It was one of the first things that President Seymour, who's on the call today, so jump in anytime, Mike, challenged us with was to create a 4-year strategic enrollment management plan. And that's kind of phase 2 of a process. That'll be, again, a 4-year opportunity. Phase 1 that Mike did as a new president, he just celebrated his first year, was to create the strategic framework, which is really an outline of our mission and value statement that the faculty, staff, and community involvement help create our strategic frame, which is titled Our Journey Towards Excellence. So a lot of the things that we're going to talk about today were modeled from or stem from the strategic framework exercise that was done last fall. Well, we'll jump right into it. Hopefully this is interesting to everybody on the call today. It's certainly, you know, as a Alexandria resident and working in Alexandria for over 20 years, I had no idea some of the data that I'm going to share with you today. And I think you'll find it interesting. So this quote is taken from Living Alexandria. Thanks, Nicole. Published from the Economic Development Commission. When we're talking to prospective students, we're also selling Alexandria as a destination to live, work, play, and learn, as well as talking about and selling Alec Tech. So boundless recreation and beautiful lakes and parks, top-notch education and healthcare facilities, all the dining, shopping, and entertainment amenities you can think of. We really are blessed to live in a great community. I'm also going to share this video from the Economic Development Commission, and it features a couple of familiar faces. It also highlights 2 Alexandria Tech grads, and I feel like this video is the perfect example of the connections between the students, the college, and the community. Alec Tech generates $114.5 million a year in economic impact, and it's estimated that 12,000 Alec Tech alumni live, work, and play in Minnesota. So here is the video.
I think my favorite part is it's just like the perfect size community.
Well, the community really pulls together around each other. It's a small town feel with all the amenities of a big city. We live in the best neighborhood in the world. It's just a great community.
We moved here almost by accident. I had a job here, so we came. We discovered very soon that this was a wonderful place to raise kids. Alexandria, you can't beat it for the culture, the school system. Everybody is just top quality people.
I came to Alexandria 16 years ago to go to the community college here, and so did my husband. That's where we met. We got jobs right away and decided to stay, and it feels like home. We love it here.
I actually came up to Alexandria to go to the tech school. I looked at a lot of different colleges around Minnesota, and Alexandria is just the one that I landed on because it was like, okay, this is an awesome town. The teachers were really engaging, and that was a huge draw for me. I've been married now for over 3 years to my wife, Casey. We have one child currently, and we have one on the way due in December. I work as a mechanical engineer at Douglas Machine. I've been there for almost 10 years. I think it's just a really great sized community. Everything about it feels so personal. It doesn't feel overwhelming. It doesn't feel like you're lost, you know, within everybody. It's really easy to kind of have your own identity.
My husband graduated high school here, and we moved here in '03. So we've been here for 13 years and have raised 3 children, and couldn't think of a better place to do so.
I mean, there's just a lot of access. If you're talking about access to the lakes, access to activities, there's always something going on.
It feels like home. It's really welcoming, and it's not too big where it's all the hustle and bustle and traffic of a big city. But there's a lot of things going on that you can not be bored. And it's not too far from, you know, going to St. Cloud or the cities or Fargo. It's just a couple-hour drive. But why would anybody want to leave? Because it's so nice around here.
Kind of a cool video, huh? On the next few slides, I'm going to talk about and share our students kind of by the numbers. Where do our students come from and who they are. So Alec Tech serves almost 4,000 students a year. Our fall enrollment is sitting at, or last year was 3,681 students. These include PSEO and concurrent students, online early and actually on campus as well. So this is where we're sitting for fall right now. The last one on the right is our fall actual last year, but the 2 columns before that, you'll see 721 of 2019 versus 719 of 2020. And we're right at the numbers. In fact, as of this date, July 20th, we were up 7 students over last year. So system average right now is down over 9.5% with COVID affecting enrollment for fall. There's a lot of students out there that are, I think, still undecided and possibly going to take a gap year. But this is a really important statistics, and we're actually leading the system for fall enrollment. So we're pretty happy and excited about that. We're just a little nervous, and we want to make sure that all the students that are accepted and enrolled show up this fall. But we're sitting better than most 2-year schools at the moment. So what divisions are our students in? These are the 7 divisions that Alec Tech offers: business design, health, law enforcement, liberal arts, manufacturing, and transportation, and the number of students in each division. You can see how our divisions tie into the top divisions in Douglas County. The highlighted fields represent where Alec Tech provides instruction. So you can see there's a direct correlation to the head count by division on the previous slide. This slide shows how our divisions also correlate with the higher wage paying jobs in our county. Our goal is to meet the needs of the students in our community, and our students can find high paying careers right here in Douglas County. So where do our students come from? These are the top feeder high schools ranked in order from 2015 to 2019 enrollment. These are students coming right out of high school, so our freshman students. Alexandria obviously being number one as the biggest feeder school, but all the area schools are represented. So who are our top competitors? This was definitely surprising to me, and I think it surprised a lot of people here, even at the school. Our top 5 competitors were actually all 4-year schools. The 4-year universities of NDSU is number 1, Morehead State was number 2, and then UMD, St. Cloud State, Concordia College all ranked ahead of the 3 technical colleges. Ridgewater is actually our number 1 2-year competitor, followed by St. Cloud Technical Community College and then Minnesota State. So I thought that was a really, really interesting that the majority of our students choose to go to 4-year universities. So based on the top feeder schools, most of the counties don't surprise us on this list, but it's interesting that we draw students from the metro area and as far as Brown County, which is New Ulm. We have strong relationships in these areas, and the program offerings that we have is the draw and the reason that people will drive that far to come to AlecTech. So this slide shows the number of students that live within 50 miles, shown in red there. And then the blue column is 51 to 100 miles away, and the yellow represents students that drive 101 plus miles to come to AlecTech. So you can see that almost 50% of enrollment drives from farther than 50 miles. So I think when people think of AlecTech, they think of us as a very small regional school, but it's not. We are truly a destination 2-year school. These are the top programs that represent the students that drive 50 plus miles. Diesel mechanics, interior design, law enforcement, fashion management. Not on the list is the machine tool technologies and manufacturing programs that we offer. Those are the top 5 programs that draw students from the farthest distance. Our law enforcement program is very, very well known across the state and truly the country. We have students coming as far as California to attend law enforcement and our manufacturing programs. So this shows our admissions funnel. We talk a lot about the admissions funnel, especially in my role here. And we identify students as prospects. So those are students that we're going out and finding. Those are a prospect of students that we get from presenting at college fairs, at the Clay Target League tournaments, those types of things. Those are truly the students that we're going out and finding. Inquiries represent students who have filled out a inquiry card or have emailed us or requested information from us. Applicants means they've actually filled out an application. And then once that process is done, we talk to the student, we admit them to AlecTech. And once they're admitted, they sign up for the classes, and that's where they hit the enrolled stage of their application process. Minnesota State average from applications to admits is about 75%. So we're actually a little lower than that at 60%. But here's where it gets interesting. Our unique application process has students, our admissions process has our students come to campus and meet with program instructors and get their questions answered. And they actually, most of our programs have a one-on-one interview with the instructors. We feel this increases their confidence in us at AlecTech, and they really understand what they're getting into, what the curriculum offers. It definitely gives us an advantage. So you can see our admits to enrolled students is 80%, which the Minnesota State average is only 54%. Foundation impact. We have a very, very strong foundation within the Minnesota State 2-year colleges. In fact, I think I could probably argue it's the strongest. And it's due to the community and involvement that we have and the partnerships that we have. For fall of 2020, we've impacted in a big way. We have awarded over $540,000 in scholarships and matching grants to over 350 students. And 2/3 of these scholarships come from our local community. So this does not even include the Dollars for Scholars or the scholarships that we call external scholarships. Those are the awards that the students bring with them from their communities and their schools, or maybe an area business or something sponsors them. So, but that's just from the foundation here at AlecTech. This is how the scholarships are awarded by division. Again, this really shows the strength of our community partners and their support of the needed jobs in our area. It's pretty well dispersed across the different divisions, which really supports our local industries. So you can see the top ones are manufacturing, business, health, and transportation. So that would include like our truck driving and power sports and those types of career fields. So let's get into our student demographics. Our student ratio is 54% female to 46% male, and the median age of our students and program majors is 20 years old. So a pretty young demographic for a technical school. This slide shows the percentage of overall student population of students in color and a comparison to the overall percentage of the entire two-year college Minnesota State system. So you can see currently students of color represent 31% of the Minnesota State colleges and universities. Here at Alec Tech, we're at 9.3%. So there's a tremendous opportunity there for us to try to attract and get more students of color. We're very proud of our retention rate at Alec Tech. We have one of the highest retention rates in Minnesota. And the most encouraging thing is we've seen a steady improvement of retention year over year. So this is freshman retention from fall semester to spring semester. That looks very similar from fall to fall. In fact, that's also increasing, and again, one of the highest retention rates from freshman year to second year students. So that was a small portion of the data that we've compiled to begin our strategic enrollment management plan. We actually had over 137 slides of data that we've gone through to create our strategic enrollment management plan. So the SEM plan that we're in the process of creating is a 4-year plan to grow enrollment at Alec Tech. Our strategic task force members are representation of administration, faculty, staff, and students. And we got together starting in, I think it was early March, and worked as a task force to create the beginning stages of the strategic enrollment management plan. So our SEM committee has identified strategic enrollment management as an institution-wide approach to supporting our students, college, and community by integrating every aspect of our college functions and culture to achieve and maintain optimal recruitment, retention, and graduation rates. So it's a mouthful of a definition. So this is a framework that we followed in developing the plan. We've incorporated Alec Tech's mission, vision, and strategic framework, that document that I talked about earlier. We've identified our key enrollment indicators, collected our data, and identified our goals. And we're at the next step now where we're currently getting our committee structure in place to further develop our strategies and tactics, all with the outcome to achieve our goals. We've done our best to align our strategic materials with the strategic framework document, the Minnesota State Affinity Group Framework, Minnesota Equity 2020, the guided pathways in the student life cycle. The student life cycle is really important to us, and it basically tracks the student from being a prospect all the way through to graduation and their career and then becoming an alumni. The academic master plan is a huge key to this, especially as far as recruitment and then retention is what I was trying to say. The Alec Tech Diversity Inclusion Plan, and then our 2020-2021 marketing plan. So these are the targets that we came up with for our 4-year SEM plan. These are very aggressive targets that require varying strategies and tactics in both retention and recruiting to achieve the targets. So on the left, you'll see where we're at currently with about 3,681 unduplicated students. For 2024, our goal is to reach 4,000 students. We're at 1,729 FYEs, and our goal is to get to 2,000 FYEs. And we're averaging, each student averages 8.98 credits per student, and our goal in 2024 is to have 12 credits per student. So as I mentioned earlier, it was really important for us to align with our strategic plan. And as a member of Minnesota State Colleges and Universities, everything we do is focused on 3 guiding principles: the success of our students, our commitment to diversity, equity, and inclusion, and the programmatic and financial sustainability of our campus. As part of our process, we've identified 6 guiding principles. They are highlighted as: recruiting is everyone's responsibility, that students are supported, that we honor the importance of diversity and inclusivity, the importance of utilizing data, and that our college plans are integrated with one another. So through those guiding principles, we came up with our 6 overreaching SEM goals. So these are the 6 main goals of the entire SEM plan, and all the strategies and tactics will be created based on these goals. So the first is to create collaboration with employees across campus that contributes toward a welcoming environment for all, to create an infrastructure for deans, faculty, and staff to engage in enrollment efforts, to focus on inclusivity through increased access, opportunity, and affordability, to compile and utilize data to guide decisions and forecasting, to develop new and enhanced academic programs aligned with industry needs, to increase interest and leverage capacity, and last, to develop and execute a college brand promise. In other words, to tell the ALEC story. So let's talk about some of the opportunities we have identified for growth. The distribution of Minnesota's population has shifted from greater Minnesota to the Twin Cities. The projected growth is concentrated in the Twin Cities, with the population in greater Minnesota stabilizing, but not necessarily increasing. So this map really shows the Twin Cities and the growth that's forecasted there versus outstate Minnesota. The largest population growth in Minnesota will be among Asians, Blacks, and Hispanics. Whites are projected to increase 6.4% from 4.5 million in 2010 to 4.8 million in 2030. But the total increase for other racial and ethnic groups is close to 80%, increasing from 891,000 to 1.6 million. So how are we adapting? Knowing that the largest growth of potential students is in the metro areas, we're hiring a regional recruiter to live and work in the Twin Cities. Preferably that recruiter would speak Spanish, but we feel it's really important to have a presence in the Twin Cities to be able to really get involved in those communities and have relationships with the Twin City schools. Secondly, we've hired a marketing firm, and we're going to go through the process of a brand and mascot development and implementation project. It's been over 10 years since we've done a branding exercise here at ALEC Tech, so we're really excited to see what they come up with for a new brand. And also a new mascot was identified as something that the student body really wanted. We're adding some unique varsity athletics. Currently we have Clay Target League, esports, and golf. And we're actually going to have Division II golf this year. And we've hired Scott Dirk as our golf coach. Most of you probably know who Scott is. He's a very well-known golf coach, and he has students drive hundreds of miles to take lessons from Scott over at the Geneva Golf Course. So we're really excited to have Scott as a golf coach, and he's put together a team for this fall. Finding tournaments to play in is going to be a little bit of a challenge, but we're really excited about our golf program. So you can see the sports that we've gone after are kind of low budget, but also high impact sports. Some additional sports that we've got our eyes on. We're trying to get a bass fishing league. So we're in the early stages of that, but again, the students are really excited about the opportunity to have a bass fishing league. We're looking at other lifelong sports like archery, and mountain bike leagues. Mountain biking is a really fast growing sport in the high school level. And there's currently only one 2-year school that has a league, and that is Lake Superior College up in Duluth. But that could be the next sport we have our eye on. And then a mascot. Again, I talked about the mascot was something the student body really really had their eyes on. It's been years and years since we had a mascot. I think the last one was called the Norseman. So it'll be interesting to see again what their marketing and branding agency comes up with for a mascot. So this is just the beginning of our SEM process. As we work to identify our SEM steering committees, we'll put together a SEM steering committee, a recruitment and a retention council, and then the additional strategies and tactics as to how we're going to achieve our goals will be based on those two committees. So, as I mentioned earlier, scholarships drive enrollment at Alec Tech. So it wouldn't be doing my job if I didn't shamelessly plug our fall fundraiser. Historically, the foundation has had fundraising events from luncheons, and last year we had a fall gala, which was very successful. Obviously, with COVID, indoor events are not as possible, and people are not necessarily comfortable with it. So we thought we have to do something. We really want to do something. So we're going to shoot for, so to speak, an outdoor event fundraiser this fall. And we've hired the Gould brothers, which are an exhibition trick shooting team. And they're actually from Parker's Prairie, Minnesota. So a couple local boys with some Alec Tech ties, but they travel the country doing a live exhibition shooting show. We thought that'd be a really fun tie-in, especially for our trap leagues, but an opportunity to meet the coaches from our Clay Target League, esports team, and golf teams. So anyway, should be a really fun event. We're going to have food trucks out there. The ticket price will include a meal voucher at one of the food trucks, and an opportunity again to meet the coaches, get information about our athletic programs, and an opportunity to donate to our athletics or academic scholarships. So we please save the date, and we're working on the invitations to get out to the public right now. So that was a lot, and presenting by Zoom is harder than it looks because I don't get any feedback and I can't see the chat box, see if there's anything there, but I welcome any comments or feedback.
All right, so nobody has put anything in the chats yet, so you can feel free to use the chat options, but you can also unmute yourself and just ask your questions. Incredible amount of things that have been done in the last year with Alexandria Technical College. The idea of something as simple as a mascot to adding sports, amazing things have been going on. While people are gathering their thoughts and thinking of their questions for you, Jeff, I'll ask from the community perspective or standpoint, what are some ways that the various entities and businesses in the community can best support the technical college as it moves forward with their strategic goals?
Well, definitely, I mean, how we do these presentations to gather some feedback, there might be something glaringly important that we've missed. You know, there's some people on the call today that have some valuable insight and possibly input to what we're doing here at Alec Tech. And so we'd love the input and the feedback. But no, just to support our college, whether it's through the foundation and scholarship opportunities, to get involved with our community outreach opportunities. But yeah, we're here to serve the community and each other. So whatever we can do to help our local businesses, we welcome the feedback and partnerships.
Fabulous. We do have a question. Do you know if there's any talk at the college regarding changes to things like internships, student work programs this fall in connection with COVID safety requirements?
Well, our fall planning is to open our campus and welcome students back. Obviously, we'll do it with all the safety protocols in place. We've actually had students on campus all summer from our law enforcement skills program. We graduated 75 law enforcement skills students, and they came from all over the state. These are students that maybe were going to law enforcement from colleges like St. Thomas or Morehead State or St. Cloud State. And they came to Alec Tech this summer to complete their skills training. And we did that very successfully. because they were face masks, we practiced social distancing and enhanced cleaning processes. So our fall, we're open and ready to serve our students. All the departments have been open for the last few months, but we're doing it again with all the safety protocols in place, and face masks are required in all the public spaces and in our classrooms at all times. So hopefully it shouldn't change much of anything.
So with the work, the student work programs and internships, as long as you have businesses that are willing to go ahead with them following the protocols, the college is willing to get students into those roles?
Absolutely, yeah.
Other questions? Again, you can use the chat box. You can unmute yourself. Just go ahead and ask.
Quiet group.
One of the things that, I've heard through some other conversations, and if you commented on it today, I missed it, but the idea that Alexandria is such a great destination for outdoor recreation, and that you're making it easier for your students to bring their outdoor recreational toys, so to speak.
Absolutely, yeah.
Do you want to talk about that a little bit?
I do, yeah, thank you. Yes, it was really evident last winter when I first started here, the number of snowmobiles and four-wheelers and things that our students bring. So we are creating or putting in an outdoor storage facility for our students. And for a very small fee, I think it's $50 a semester, they can park their ATV, snowmobile, fish house, whatever, in an enclosed, caged-in area with an access card that they can come and go with. Alec Tech is literally almost right on the snowmobile trail, and we have a lot of our students that bring those snowmobiles. So we're going to have a snowmobile club this winter. But the outdoors is really important to our students, and again, we sell Alexandria as a destination, as well as representing and selling the college. So it just again sets us apart and gives us. President Seymour likes to say, we want to win the ties. So if a student is thinking about Alexandria as a destination to go to school, yeah, we want to do everything we can to promote the area and all the outdoor activities that we have to offer. So the sports storage is a really unique amenity for us.
Come on, everybody, it's so quiet. I know you've got to have a lot of questions. What are your challenges with student housing? Do you have any challenges? Do the students have pretty easy access to accommodations when they're coming in from outside the community?
Yes, it's been great, and another great unique amenity of Alexandria is, where else can you go to college and live at a resort? So we're really happy that our resort partners open their doors to our students in the wintertime. They're full all summer, but in the fall, there's not much happening. So most of the area resorts open their doors for Alec Tech students. So we've got great community partners there, and there's quite a bit of student housing in and around Alexandria. Our student housing here on campus, we're one of the only, very few two-year schools that have on-campus housing, and it's provided by the foundation here at Foundation Hall. We've got 149 beds here at the foundation, but we've been full for this fall since December. It was the fastest that we've ever filled the Foundation Hall before. So the nice thing about about Foundation Hall is each student has their own bedroom. So we're not putting two students per bedroom. They only share a bathroom with one other student. So it far exceeds the MDH and CDC guidelines as far as social distancing is concerned for living accommodations in dorms. So we're pretty lucky there as well. We get to fill our dorms up. So we are working with area hotels to find housing. Should we have an outbreak of COVID, where a student that can't go home and self-isolate, we'll put them up in an area hotel, and they can do their studies and complete their education while they're hopefully doing the right thing, self-quarantining for 14 days, and then they can come back to campus. So we talked a little bit about program offerings. One of the newest things that we are adding is cybersecurity, and it's a huge and growing industry. So we've got an actual online cybersecurity program that we're offering now, as well as a cybersecurity certificate program. That's really adding a lot of interest to the college, and we've seen a tremendous amount of students interested in a new cybersecurity program as well. So thank you to our community partners who have sponsored that with scholarships, and another new program offering that we have that we're really excited about.
Jeff, along that same line, this is Holly.
Hi, Holly.
I was curious if with COVID and, over the spring having to go virtual, just if you saw some changes in programs, how they were affected and what that would look like going forward, even though you're going to be back in school.
It's going to be interesting. I mean, being in technical college, labs, hands-on learning is super important for our students, and our students want to be back on campus. They want the hands-on learning, but everything will look different. You've probably all heard about scenario A, B, and C that even K through 12 is planning on. So currently the restrictions are only 25 students in the classroom. So a lot of our classes are larger than 25 students. So we're probably looking at a mixture of on-campus, in-person lectures combined with it's called asynchronous or polysynchronous learning. So using Zoom technology or technology, we just purchased a whole bunch of what's called an OWL. And an OWL is about the size of a water bottle, but it's a super high-tech conference room type device that has a 360-degree camera and microphone and speaker. You can set that in a lab, and if a student has a question, the camera goes directly to that student and picks them up and then plays synchronously. So a student can be home, they can be self-isolating, or if the class size is larger than 25, and the students that are home that day can still take part in their instruction. So we see it as a mix of on-campus and asynchronous learning for this fall. Lab times will have to be adjusted. Again, to practice social distancing, the welding shop may have students come in the morning, and then those students go home and do lectures, and then the afternoon might be a second batch of students doing their hands-on learning. So the faculty, I can't even imagine what they're going through to try to put together fall programming, but they're literally working tirelessly to come up with curriculum and a new way to teach and for the students to learn.
Great. A question that came in directly to me was about the making the students feel welcome in the fall. Typically there have been signs placed out, curbside, also some of the local businesses welcoming the technical college students back. Are there other things local businesses can do to show a welcoming attitude for the students?
Sure, absolutely. No, we love that, and we love that you guys welcome our students. Any discounts? Students love discounts. You go into Qdoba and they literally have a sign on the door that Alec Tech discount is available to them. But if there's any discount programs, let us know, and our student life will get that out to the students. There's a whole directory of different discount programs and the businesses that welcome our students. So if you have any kind of specials or discounts for Alec Tech grads and students, we'd love to share that with our students.
Okay. And does ATCC continue to offer their workforce development scholarships? Seems to be a great recruitment tool.
Absolutely. Our community partners. So the workforce scholarships, last year, I believe the state started with $4 million. And this year it grew to $7 million. So our pool of scholarship dollars was over $75,000. And then we went out, I got to thank President Seymour for starting the process, but working with our manufacturing partners to match those scholarships. And the more scholarships that we were able to match, the more that opened the door to get additional scholarships. So all told, I think we gave out over $86,000 in workforce and workplace learning scholarships this year. So it was a huge, huge opportunity for us. And again, because of the community partners that we had matching those scholarships, we were able to unlock additional scholarships for our students. So we really use those scholarships in a pre-promotional way this year to get out in front of the student as they're making decisions about what college to go to. And it was a really powerful tool to say, come to Alec Tech, we're going to give you a $5,000 scholarship.
Fabulous. Other questions? I'm sure with a technical college, it's very much like it is for a lot of the businesses these days. We're seeing more and more people community shopping when they're looking at a career change. There is, prior to COVID, there was so many jobs available that people could choose their top 4 choices in 4 different communities, and then they really needed to get sold on the community to determine which one they were going to take. And so people are doing a lot more of that community shopping than they probably were 15 or 20 years ago. And I would guess you're probably seeing a similar trend with the students. They're looking at colleges, but they're also looking at the communities and what amenities are within that, got to have a Target, got to be able to bring my snowmobile, whatever it might be. But are you seeing more and more of that?
Yeah, absolutely. COVID, when you look at the 4-year colleges and universities, and we get the enrollment report every single week, the 4-year schools are having a harder time with fall enrollment than we are at a 2-year school. Again, I think students are not necessarily as willing to go to a school. Again, my son's at St. Thomas, but to pay St. Thomas tuition and have online learning. And even though they are open and going to welcome back their students, my son got his curriculum and he's about 85 or 90% online. The only time he's going to be able to be in person is during his labs. So he's kind of bumming about that. And again, we see this great opportunity for us to reach out to those students who may want to start their education here at Alec Tech, who maybe had their eye on a 4-year school, and they can come to Alec Tech for really 20% of the cost of the first and second year. So we went after, we're marketing heavily towards those students who were thinking about a 4-year school, who haven't decided yet. And I think that's a big reason that we're doing much better than most schools right now as far as fall enrollment. So our messaging was quality education close to home. We got kind of cheeky and sent out direct mails to the metro schools in Hennepin County and the Twin Cities area, and the message was close but not too close to home. And we've got a lot of response to those. So yeah. Carol
Wenner, you have a question?
Yeah, I'm sorry, Jeff, I had to step away for a bit. You might have already talked about how to donate, or if you're going to do any virtual fundraisers this year for the foundation.
Yes. You go to our website and go on your foundation. You can donate anytime, but we are having a fall fundraiser. It'll be Tuesday night, September 22nd at the Trap Range. And we're having the Gould brothers come in, but there will be different opportunities to give, whether you want to give to the athletic program, academic scholarships, or anything you're passionate about. But the foundation is always open for donations. So you don't have to wait till fall either. But we are going to do the fall fundraiser that I shared. So watch your mail and email for invitations about the fall fundraising event. I don't care who you are, if you like outdoor sports or not, the Gould brothers are absolutely worth coming out watching. I've seen them before in person, and the people who get most excited about it, people who have never seen anything like it. I mean, it's amazing what these two guys can do with shotguns, pistols, rifles, and longbows. But it'll be a really fun fundraising event.
Is that during the high school competition, or what's going on out there at that time?
Yeah, trap shooting is a sport that 2-year schools are going to be able to participate in this fall. So our trap team will be going this fall, and we'll have some of our students out there answering questions and doing some demonstrations. Golf is another sport that has been approved to go on this fall, as well as our esports. Esports is essentially gaming, And we are the only two-year college that can compete nationally for esports this year. So we're really excited about that. And that's probably the sport that the majority, or that we've got the most interest in for fall, is our esports league. So we've literally taken a classroom and converting it to an incredibly cool room for esports. There's two, I think 84-inch monitors, so spectators can watch, and that's what the game on. And our students will compete with other colleges across the country in our esports league. So pretty exciting stuff.
All right, we do have about 10 minutes left. If there's any other questions, anything anybody else wants to ask Jeff, I'm sure he's available at any time if you think of something after today's Listen and Learn event as well. But
I put my email back on the screen as well. If you have any questions, there's my email address and phone number. Please reach out. We'd love to talk to you.
all right, I don't see any others. So again, this information will be available on the Chamber website, also at Alexandria Technical and Community College's website, and Jeff's available anytime. If you didn't get his information written down, if you're driving, you can always call us at the Chamber. We can get you in touch with him as well. But I thank you very much for your time today, Jeff. It was
Tara,
great.
thank you very much for the opportunity. It's been fun. Yeah, really great to be able to do this for you. So thank you.
All right, and thanks to all of you for joining us, and enjoy the rest of your day.
Thank you.